Hello, my name is Dr. Ben Thompson, and I am here with Dr. Michelle Neidleman-Kennedy. We are audiologists with Treble Health. Today, we are talking about the top 5 ways to help someone with hearing loss. This might be you or someone you know, and there are real things you can do to help someone who has trouble hearing. We're going to introduce 5 steps that you can follow to help someone hear better. Step number 1 is to get a proper hearing test. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, and then I'm going to pass it off to Dr. Michelle, who will continue on. Getting a hearing test is very important. And as an audiologist, that's something we're well trained in. Typically, to get a full comprehensive hearing test, you would go to a clinic like an ear, nose, and throat clinic or an audiology clinic or a hospital, and you would sit in a room and listen for some soft beep sounds. And you would also repeat back some words so that we could understand how well can your auditory system process sound. For most people who are having some trouble hearing, the hearing loss can be found in the high pitches or the high frequency sounds. And this makes it hard to understand the clarity of speech. Hence, you may experience day to day. It's harder to hear when there's background noise. It's harder to hear when people are farther away. And speech just isn't as clear as it used to be. As audiologists, this is something that we specialize in and something we have a lot of passion to explain about. First step is to get a hearing test. Your options are one of 2 choices. You can start with an online hearing test, which today's online hearing tests are valid ways to screen your hearing at different pitch frequencies in both ears. We will include a link underneath this video of the Treble Health online hearing test, as well as a card above my head. Separately, you can also go get a full comprehensive hearing test from a clinic. And those tests will cover how well you can hear in each ear and what degree of hearing loss you have. I want to say welcome to Treble Health. Again, my name is Dr. Ben Thompson, and this is our YouTube channel where we focus on tips for tinnitus treatment, hearing loss, and hearing aids. If you're new here, please consider finding that red subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I appreciate that. I'm now going to pass it to another one of our audiologists on our team, whose name is Dr. Michelle Neidleman-Kennedy, who will take it over talking about step number 2, hearing aids.
So depending on whether or not you have hearing loss, most hearing losses can be addressed via hearing aids or different types of hearing devices. So this is something, again, that you might follow through with the audiologist or the ENT clinic that you went to. It is also something that you may want to consider doing on your own outside of that facility. And if you're interested in that, you can always ask our team for an evaluation for hearing aids, because it can be overwhelming to decipher which hearing aid is best for me and what features are ones that I need to have in my hearing aids for my hearing loss and my hearing needs. So that would be one of the most important ways of addressing your hearing loss, is to get a hearing device.
Next, step number 3 to improve hearing loss is to reduce background noise. When we stop and think, we learn that many of the problems we're having are because there's background noise that make it hard for the brain to pick out the sounds we want to hear and reduce the sounds that are just background noise and making it complex and difficult. So some common situations would be in a group setting, at a dinner, at a restaurant, hanging out with friends, hanging out with family. These are common situations where our patients tell us, I'm having a hard time hearing when there's a lot of background noise. One thing you can do is you can monitor how loud the background noise is based on different environments. One app that I really like to use through my phone is called the NIOSH Sound Level Meter app. And if you search in the App Store, NIOSH, you will find the Sound Level Meter app, which gives you a reading of how loud in decibels is the room and the environment that you're in. Our advice would be to look out for any sounds that are louder than 60 decibels through the app, because that might be a sign that you're going to have a hard time hearing in that environment. Now, we understand you cannot always reduce the background sound in every environment you're in, but if you understand with the phone what level of background noise you're in, then you can more appropriately communicate with your group that, hey, I'm not going to hear that well. And you can also try to move your table to a different part of the restaurant, for example, or you can make adjustments in your environment to reduce the background noise. For those who want to take this to the next level, you could change the acoustics of the room that you're in. For example, if you always have difficulty hearing every Wednesday night when you hang out with friends at John's house, then you can encourage John to have a carpet, have some drapes. The reverberation of a room can make it even more complex to understand people with hearing loss. So if we can control the reverberation by changing the acoustics of the room, by different fabrics or rugs, then that too can help reduce background noise and help you hear. And don't forget about lighting. To be able to see someone's face is also very important to fully understand and connect the visual path with the auditory path so you can understand what someone's saying.
The next way that you can help someone with hearing loss is through communication repair strategies. So oftentimes when someone has hearing loss, they may not acknowledge that they haven't heard something or that they misheard. So it's important to recommend that they ask for repetition or ask for clarification. If they are shy, you can ask them yourselves, did you hear what I just said? And they might respond yes or no, or you can ask them more specifically, what did I say, to know whether or not they were able to hear what you had just said to them. And another important communication repair strategy, is making sure that you're moving closer to the sound source that you want to attend to, so the speaker. So the greater the distance between you and what you want to listen to, it's going to be naturally more difficult to hear. So if you are in church or at synagogue or, in a restaurant, if you're trying to hear someone in particular, you want to move as closely as you can to them, because that will inherently help you to hear better. You can also ask your communication partner to alert you. So if they are trying to get your attention, they should call you by your name, and that would help you start to redirect your focus to be better able to hear them. It's also important to remember that if you're calling someone and they're in another room, they are more than likely not going to hear you because they are further away from you and they are likely attending to something else. They're occupied mentally with some other task. And so unless you specifically told them, wait in this room until I call you, if you start calling or speaking to them, it's going to be very difficult for them to hear you or to acknowledge that you're trying to have a conversation with them. And step 5 is using hearing assistive devices. So in addition to hearing aids, there are a lot of devices that help us in specific situations. So hearing aids help us globally with many of the listening environments that we're in, but there still may be some situations or environments where we have extra difficulty hearing. And one of the most common difficult listening environments is that of a restaurant. So something like the Roger microphone or another microphone system that couples to your hearing aids would be very beneficial for you to use in a restaurant, because you can pass this microphone directly to your dining partner, or if it's a group of people and you're at one end of the table, you can set that microphone up on the opposite end so that you're better able to hear what's happening in the conversation despite the distance between you and the speaker and any noise that may be interfering between you and the speaker. So that's something that you may want to consider when you are going about choosing a hearing aid, to find out what other accessories you can couple with it to be able to use in your everyday life. Another great hearing assistive device is something that pairs to your television. So more commonly known as TV ears, that's probably the most commonly known brand. It's very helpful for allowing you to be able to listen to the television at a comfortable level while you're listening to a TV program with someone else. So if you require more volume than them, they'll be able to listen to the TV program at their set volume level, and you'll be able to hear it at a louder level, which allows you to better enjoy your television programming. Another device that oftentimes people don't realize is available to them if they have a hearing loss are captioned phones. One such caption phone is called CapTel, and these phones actually are free for those that have hearing loss. You can ask your audiologist to sign off on a form, and you can request that this telephone be installed in your home. They come to your home, they teach you how to use it, they set it up for you, and it amplifies the conversations as well as captions them, both live conversations and voicemails. So it's an excellent resource for anyone who has a hearing impairment.
And those were the top 5 ways to help someone with hearing loss. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below in the comment section here on YouTube. And again, welcome to our YouTube community. Please consider subscribing so you can have more consistent videos from Dr. Michelle, myself, Dr. Ben, and some other special guests. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we hope we have helped you. If you would like an individualized recommendation for hearing aids or to take advantage of our online hearing test, then you can contact us by visiting treblehealth.com or check the description below this video. Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle, for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.